visual exploration with a tool called Infomous. And I'm going to start out, let's see if this actually works. Great, it works. So I'm going to start out by asking everybody a question. How many people here have used a search engine in the last 24 hours? 24 hours. Okay, it's pretty good. And another question, how many of you would say that every single time you use Google or Bing to do a search, you're satisfied with the results and it's easy to use? Much lower number. Now, here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest that there are two primary reasons why sometimes Google and Bing work well and sometimes they don't. The first reason is because of the fact that when we're looking for information online, we're not always searching for something specific. If we're looking for the address of the New York Tech Breakfast, easy. If we're looking for a fun thing to do in New York or a great present for my girlfriend, it's not so easy. And the difference here is that sometimes we're not looking for a specific thing to find, but we're looking to discover something. And what I would argue that in that case, you don't need to search, but you need to explore. And this, I think, is a fundamental problem that a lot of people don't realize. Search engines were designed specifically to find something that you care about, that you already know what it is. But many times we're looking for things that we don't know what they are, we're trying to discover, and then we need exploration. Now the second point, which goes to the visual aspect of exploration, is the fact that almost everything that we do online, believe it or not, is still text. Right? The internet is great, you get images, you get video, but 85% of all of our activities are based on text. Social media, news, email, search, reviews on shopping sites, blogs, it's all text-based. And we as human beings do not do particularly well with things that are not visual. We prefer visual. Text is really not very good. So when you do a search result, it's a known fact that 93% of all clicks come from the first page of Google search results. Nobody likes to go through streams of tweets or search results or things like that. So we've developed a platform that we call Infomous that is specifically designed for visual exploration. Let me see if I can show it to you here. Maximize the window. So here's an example. This is today's world news. And we're collecting in this particular Infomous cloud, we're collecting news from a number of top sources like the New York Times, CNN, and so on. And you can see clearly a lot of the news sources are talking about Iraq and ISIS and Obama having to deal with that. If I'm interested in that topic, I can click the word ISIS, and you will see, and I'm sorry in the back you probably can't see the fonts, but here's a list of articles from CNN, The Guardian, The Atlantic, that talk about ISIS and the crisis that is going on in Iraq. And if I'm interested in reading one of the articles on The Guardian, by clicking that word, that article, I can actually read the article in The Guardian, and then I can close the window and go back to Infomous. Let me give you a different example. This is something that we did for USA Today at the end of 2013. They wanted to find a more creative, more visual way of representing the year 2013 in review. So we took a collection of 5,000 stories from USA Today, and we arranged them into a cloud that has a timeline. So these are the news that were happening in January, actually the first week of January of last year, people talking about the fiscal cliff. We go to April, and we see that people were talking about the Boston Marathon bombings. We go to, I don't know, let's go to December, we're worrying about the end of last year. They were worrying, oh, Mandela died, and there were questions also of the government shutdown a little bit later, and things of that sort. And people spent a tremendous amount of time on this page exploring the news from last year. It's not just news. Perhaps you're interested in social media. In fact, here's something we're going to do, a little live demo, right? I'm going to do a social media search on Twitter in this case for Tech Breakfast. And let's see what people are talking about Tech Breakfast. And here we go, right? So these are all tweets that we all have been tweeting about Tech Breakfast. And let me try to click on, I don't know, this one here. And you can see that there are some tweets about Tech Breakfast somewhere in here. Here's Infomous Clouds. We did a couple of tweets. Here's a picture that was 5 minutes ago and tweeted live. And if you happen to be a soccer fan, here's another example. I love soccer. I'm following the World Cup. So we made our own cloud where you can follow tweets either for the whole World Cup, or if you happen to be, for example, a fan of Italy, as I am, you click that, and now what I'm doing is I'm bringing down tweets that include the keywords World Cup in Italy, and these are all related. You know, there's Mario Balotelli, for example, for those of you that know Italian soccer, a very famous Italian player. So, in sum, what is Infomous? It's a great way to do visual exploration, which I believe is the future of how we're going to interact with content online. We work with publishers who use, like USA Today, who use this on their website, but it's also something that you can use yourself. And in fact, what I would encourage everybody to do is to get Infomous for yourself and play with it. And there are 3 ways you can do it. You can actually go to our website, register for free, create clouds with your own content, and embed them in your own blogs or websites. You can download a free iOS app, which is really beautiful. That one does only the news primarily, but it's a really beautiful way to stay abreast with what's happening in the news. And finally, we also have a free Chrome extension that detects automatically when a website has an RSS feed, and then it shows you a little logo, and you can click it and open it up and see the cloud. So that's it. Please use Infomous and have fun with it. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job.